We have this idea that success is some kind of huge, flashy event, like a lightning bolt of genius or a one-in-a-million lucky break. But what if that whole picture is just wrong? What if success is actually something a lot quieter, a lot grittier, and way more in our control than we think? Let's dive into that.
I mean, really let that sink in for a second. It's not a prize you win at the end of the race. It's a choice you make when the alarm goes off, every single day. This idea is the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. We're going to unpack why just showing up consistently is probably the single most powerful thing you can do for yourself.
All right, so first things first, we need to tear down this huge idea we've all been sold, the myth of success. I mean, it's a great story, right? But it's also kind of dangerous because it tricks us into waiting around for greatness to find us, instead of getting out there and building it ourselves. I bet this sounds pretty familiar, right? We wait to feel inspired. We wait for all the stars to align, for that perfect moment. We wait for motivation to just hit us out of the blue. But let's be real. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of waiting forever. This kind of thinking turns us into passengers in our own lives, just hoping we end up somewhere good instead of grabbing the steering wheel.
Okay, so if we can't count on motivation to just show up, then what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to a huge choice we all face. It's a showdown, really, between two very different forces: motivation and its much, much more reliable cousin, discipline.
And this, right here, is the absolute key difference. Motivation is a feeling. It's like this massive, exciting wave of energy that feels incredible when you're riding it. But what happens to all waves? They crash. They always disappear. Discipline, though, that's not a feeling. It's an active choice. It's the foundation you build, brick by boring brick, every single day. And it's still standing long after the waves are gone.
So, let's nail this down. Discipline is what you do when you least feel like doing it. It's the engine that keeps chugging along, not the flashy spark that starts the fire. It's you making a quiet promise to your future self that says, hey, my long-term goals matter more than how I feel right this second. Okay, so we get it. Discipline is king. But how in the world do we actually put that into practice? Well, it all starts with a huge mental shift about the work itself. It's time to learn how to embrace, maybe even love, the daily grind. Man, this quote just gets right to the heart of it. We're taught to think of the grind as this awful thing we have to suffer through to get to the good part. But that's where we get it all wrong. The grind is the good part. That struggle, that difficulty, it's not some obstacle in your way. It is the way. That feeling of discomfort, that's just what it feels like to get stronger. So, what does this look like in the real world? It's actually a pretty simple 3-step playbook. Step 1, act. Just start. Don't sit around waiting to feel like it. Step 2, when you hit that wall and everything in you wants to quit, lean into that discomfort. That's the growth zone. And step 3, you have to trust the process. You have to believe that every one of these small, unglamorous actions is adding up to something huge. And this is where the real payoff comes in. Because when you do this, day in and day out, you unlock one of the most powerful forces in the universe. You start to build momentum. And it always begins with day 1. And let's be honest, day 1 is usually terrible. It's clunky, it feels awkward, your brain is just screaming at you with a million doubts. Every instinct might be telling you to just stop. But you don't. You show up. Now fast forward to, say, day 30. Something's different. The action doesn't feel so weird anymore. That little voice of resistance in your head, it's gotten a lot quieter. It's not easy yet, but it's becoming a habit. The path is definitely getting smoother. And a year in, day 365, the change is just profound. That action isn't something you do anymore. It's just a part of who you are. You've stopped trying to be the person who shows up every day. You simply are that person. That consistency has built a whole new identity. Think of it like a tiny snowball at the top of a huge snowy hill. At first, you have to push that thing with all your might. It takes so much effort just to get it moving. But then, it starts to roll on its own. It picks up more snow, it gets bigger and heavier and faster. And pretty soon, that thing is an unstoppable force and is actually carrying you. That's momentum. It's the ultimate reward for all that early discipline. So you see, when it comes right down to it, this whole conversation, it comes back to you. This isn't just some theory from a book, it's a personal decision you get to make over and over again. And we really need to change how we think about failure. Failure isn't having a bad day, it's not messing up or falling short. The only way you can truly fail is by giving up, by choosing to stop showing up. It's not about never falling down, it's all about how many times you're willing to get back up. The goal is just progress, plain and simple, not perfection.
So here's the question you gotta ask yourself. Are you willing to do the work when no one is watching? When there's no audience, no applause, nobody to give you a gold star? Can you show up just for you and for the person you want to become? Because that right there is where true commitment is made.
And that is what this all boils down to. It's not about some grand 5-year plan. It's not about waiting for a sign from the universe. The entire future you want to build, it rests on one simple thing. Your very next small step. The choice to show up, starting right now.